Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of my Survivor review videos. What a darn good episode this was. I highly enjoyed it. It was probably the best one that we've had yet, and I definitely love the twists and the new challenges that it brings to survivors coming up. So yet again, I just go through points that stuck out to me in the episode, and just discuss them a little bit, and maybe put in a bit of my input on it from my opinion, or just something that I'll probably do in the if I was playing the game. So I'll get straight into it. Kylie found the hidden idol. I think that she got pretty lucky in that sense, but she stuck at it. So maybe it's not luck, but she stuck at it, found the idol, that's what she needed to get through this game, because I believe she probably could have been going to the tribe, to the yellow tribe at the end if she didn't have that. But getting into more of that tribal later, because there's a lot to discuss about that, and I think that's going to take up a bit of time in this video. So second thing, again, blue dominating in the challenge, the first challenge that is, and as my prediction is yellow operates on their emotions as a tribe, as a collective group. If one person's feeling crap, they all feel like crap, and you could see that in that first challenge. They just absolutely got decimated, and they weren't competitive. And I think coming into that next challenge, the one that mattered, they got fire, and yet again they're competitive again. So they're really up, on this up and down sort of scenario, this roller coaster. If they're having a bad day, they're not going to do well in the challenges. If they're feeling good, as a collective group, they're all feeling good, they're going to get somewhere. And they've been doing alright. They've won most of the challenges. This was their first tribal council, and it sort of sucked because I said it before in the last episode that I believe Nick was going to be shooting himself in the foot with the way he acted with the idol clue, and it did. It come back to bite him on the arse. And congratulations on the Red Tribe for finally not going to a tribal council that actually mattered. So Lee doing an absolute job, and absolutely good job in that last challenge. And it was kind of strange because I predicted that they would be going to tribal council for this episode, and I was wrong. But I knew as soon as I seen the challenge, the end part of it anyways, I knew that Lee was going to dominate that, and I knew if they could get him there, just like that last tribal council they did, where they left him to the end to throw the balls. That was a risk, and I think it was almost a risk again this time, but they implemented that strategy, they stuck with it, and they focused. And it's amazing, the tribe really needs to look at Lee and look how good he is at focusing on the job at hand and dealing with the pressure, because that's how you need to be when you're playing this game of Survivor. Just skipping to Connor in the blue tribe, going to Matt with Sam and telling Matt what's going on. I think that was a really good move for him. He really needed to do that. But where I will criticise his gameplay was when he went back to Flick and started questioning her. And at the end of the day, he didn't need to do that. He could have just left it, played the game, and got Flick out. There was no need to stir up this bit of, this hostility in camp, because essentially what he'd done is just gave away the plans on what the boys were going to be doing, and that left the door open to Flick to quickly scramble and try and twist people's arm and go, hey, no, I never said any of these things. So that was a really stupid part on his gameplay. It just goes to show that Connor, when things get really heated, when the pressure really gets to you, he can't handle it and he freaks out. So I can see this is his weakness, and it's going to be something that's probably going to cost him later on in the game, because nobody wants to alliance themselves with somebody, and you've seen it time and time again in the US series. Nobody wants to alliance themselves with a person who is going to just spill the beans when things get tough, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, no, you wouldn't find me alliancing myself with him. Sure, there would be a time and place for it, but you'd find me throwing him out pretty damn quick. And I'd probably try and get him out before the merge. Depending on how the game went, I'll be looking at getting rid of him before the merge. So just skipping to Tribal Council, because that's what I really want to talk about, because it was a really good Tribal Council. I think it's probably one of the best ones yet. I'm going to criticise that a little bit. I liked it because it was a double tribe, like double Tribal Council. What I didn't like about it was the fact that two tribes were there together. I understand the dynamics of it, they were swapping, but you could have done that still without, you could have brought the two tribes together at that point in time going, yep, you two are now swapping. That's what's going on. Instead of bringing them together, because I know Jonathan is new to this whole hosting thing, but he gave away two things that I think that he should not even talked about. One was the Flick duo, Flick and her alliance, because he pretty much pointed that out and said, yeah, you two girls are still tight, and they're like, yeah. Flick's like, yes, of course. That's pretty much just pointing at someone's alliance and handing it to the other tribe, going, this is some information to you guys. Now, okay, fair enough, they haven't merged yet, but if those two girls make it to the merge, that just puts a target on their back. And you know, I know his job is he's trying to prod and try and get people to open up and get that drama that we all seen in that episode, but at the same time, he's not being fair to the players, and there's got to be that balance there. The second thing I didn't like was the fact that he pointed out a hidden immunity around Kylie's neck. Now, my opinion on that is Kylie was stupid to wear it out in the open the way she did. You know, even though I'm backing her, and I'm still backing her, I did make the prediction that I do see her going to the end. I still will say it was a stupid move by her to wear it. I know she's trying to go, hey, look, I've got the hidden immunity. Don't even try and go for me because I'm going to play it. But it was silly. She didn't need to do that, and she pulled it out, knowing the other tribe was sitting right there. First of all, if you've got a hidden immunity, you don't play until the host tells you or says, has anyone got a hidden immunity? That's when you play it, that's when you pull it out. Never before, any time before that. Unless you're telling someone about it who is a part of your alliance, because that did paint a target on her back. So by Jonathan saying, hey, is that an idol? I think that was pretty wrong of him to say that. He should have done the whole, hey, has anyone got an idol speech before he read out the votes, because at that point in time, like, you know, then maybe they wouldn't have to go to the other tribe, maybe, I don't know, but knowing that was the scenario that he's like, yep, no, people are, you're not voting to get people out, you're voting to switch. So maybe that's when she should have just kept on hold of it and not even brought it out. That was a stupid play. The other silly thing that I'll mention, apart from that sort of stuff, is just with the double tribal, they should have really been in, you know, individual tribals and then brought them together when the people were going to swap. To me, that makes sense. To me, then, you know, if Jonathan wanted to ask Flick about this duos that's still tight, the other tribe doesn't know any about that. Just, you know, obviously pointing out the obvious to people in the Blue Tribe that already know about it. So that was silly. The best thing about the Yellow Tribe, and it's good, because they played really smart in that situation. They didn't air out their dirty laundry like Connor did. Now, getting into that, Connor made a stupid move. He should not have used Matt's name during that phase. He should have argued a lot better than that and really tried to hammer at Flick, because at that point in time he had Matt on his side, and then Matt flipped and was going to vote out Connor. Then he flipped again anyways to vote out Flick because of the tiebreaker. But if he had never said those things, it probably wouldn't even have been the tiebreaker first time round if he didn't say any of those things, because it was going that way. It was going that way. Everyone was voting for Flick, apart from probably Kylie, because she didn't know any better. The Blue Tribe is starting to show some weaknesses. Matt is starting to show some weaknesses. Someone who claims that they're a mentalist and who can read body language and pick up people that are lying. I found this funny because someone that believes in self-development, this is one of the things I mentioned in my audition video, is that I'm good at manipulation. I didn't get to talk a lot about what I do and what I prepped for the show, but I learnt a lot about communication. And for somebody who claims that they're a mentalist, and he's an expert at it, and that was his exact words, an expert. Now, I don't claim that I'm an expert, but I do claim that I know when someone's talking shit, and that's kind of obvious, depending on the situation at hand, that is. But someone that claims that they're a mentalist and they're an expert in in body language and hand gestures and all that sort of stuff, and reading the face, he should have been able to pick on anything like that, and he didn't. So I think he's been exposed in that he's not as good as he thinks he is. The other weakness that Matt shows is he got a little bit emotional when Connor threw him under the bus. He's got to learn to separate his logical thinking from emotional thinking, and understandably they've been out there for a couple of days now, so they are mentally worn out, they are physically worn out, and so maybe he's not as mentally strong as he normally was, because calling Kylie out on and telling, that's a stupid thing to do, I think it's a stupid thing to do, all you're doing is eliminating someone that you can make an alliance with. Kylie had nothing against you, against Matt at that point, so why even do that? Okay, fair enough, you think it's a stupid thing to do. I think it's a stupid thing to do. For someone like me, if I was playing the game, I would alliance myself with Kylie. I would, she is someone I would alliance myself with, but I wouldn't voice it to her that was a stupid thing to do. Maybe when it's just me and her in the woods and we're talking and strategizing and talking about whatever, that's probably then when I would bring it up to him and go, hey, look, I don't think that was a smart thing you did, because we're in an alliance together, and I want you to keep it, I want you to look after yourself, but you've also got to think about the people that you're in the alliance with, right? So yeah, I think that's a weakness that Matt has, is his, when he gets emotional, he can't control his feelings. And so that was a very silly thing to do. All in all, I think the people that are really good at controlling themselves are Sam and Brooke. They're starting to show that they can really control themselves in that sort of situation with the pressure that they had. It sucks for Sam though, because he's gone over to the Yellow Tribe. The Yellow Tribe's got to now dominate. I think Sam was he was the backbone of the Blue Tribe, and I think he's going to struggle a little bit going into the Yellow Tribe, because he's a natural leader, and for someone who's an entrepreneur, that's exactly what they're like. They're natural leaders. They're not a boss. They don't when in that lifestyle, they don't act like and carry on like a boss. They carry on like leaders, and they bring everybody up. That's their job. Apart from creating jobs, that's what they do, is they bring other people up around them, they create a team around them to get them to their goal. That's what entrepreneurs do. and I think he's going to struggle with the yellow tribe simply because it's not his tribe. But we'll see how it goes. I think maybe the relationship with Connor's going to get strained a little bit. But right now, that's all he's got going into the yellow tribe. Unless he can really woo over the yellow tribe, then he really doesn't need Connor. I think you'll probably look at Connor possibly leaving the yellow tribe, and Sam sort of struggling to keep going. But I don't think yellow's going to lose another tribe, like another challenge anytime soon. I see blue starting to go downhill a bit. Nick's not really Nick and Tegan, from what I've seen thus far, are not they're not physically strong. They're good at the puzzles, but they're not physically strong, and I think that's going to weigh down the blue team, which opens up the door for the red team to stop going to tribal council, and that's what they really need to do. Because as I said, they're focused on just backstabbing each other. They're not focused on playing what I call the real numbers game. So yeah, all in all though, it was a good episode. I wouldn't say good. Actually, it was a great episode. Probably one of the best tribal councils I've seen in a while. I hope something gets mentioned about Jonathan bringing these little things up. These prodding questions, because you've got to be really careful about when you're prodding people with questions, that you're not just throwing them out underneath the bus to another tribe that's sitting right there, because that's just silly. You know what I mean? Like, that's just unfair. From a player's perspective, that's unfair. But anyway, that's the video today. I'm going to try and get on time with the next one. I'm actually kind of sick, so. But thanks for watching. Please like it, share it if you like. And yeah, thank you, and see you next time. Cheers.